On May 1st, 2012, Film Courage attended a press roundtable interview with Raini Rodriguez from the film Girl in Progress, directed by Patricia Regan. This audio is from that interview session. For more information on Girl in Progress, please visit girlinprogressmovie.com.
I just can't believe how much you've grown up since I started watching you on Disney stuff years ago.
Thank you, thank you.
You were just... I didn't say it was a good thing.
Oh, well.
You should stay a little girl in progress.
Trust me, I am such a little girl. Well, I'm 18.
I know.
But most people think that I'm 12, so I can get away with acting like a little kid. No one really questions me. Because when you're 18 acting like a little kid, they're like, wow, what's wrong with you? But when you look like you're 12 acting like you're 12, no one questions it. So it's perfect.
Now, you are the one girl in the movie that is not really in progress. You pretty much have most of your shit together.
I would say, yeah, I mean, it looked that way in the beginning, but I've always thought as, Tabitha was the one that kind of went through the whole becoming an adult and the rite of passage, and she kind of was the one that did all that in the background, while Sierra's character, Ansiedad, was trying to find herself and trying to do it herself, and I was doing it in the background. I think, so in a way, I did kind of get into the whole becoming an adult and going through all the dramas and all the hardships, and then in the end, kind of it not working out, but then it ended up working out in the end. I kind of discovered myself and came out of it successfully.
Mm-hmm. Could you relate to somebody in real life that your role mirrored?
Well, I think everybody in a way kind of does that. I know, even I growing up, I would go through different stages where I was like, nope, I only want to wear shorts. I'm a shorts kind of person, I've decided. And then, months later, I'm like, okay, no, jeans, I'm sorry. What was I thinking? Look at the pictures, gross, no. So it's kind of like, I think everybody goes through that. But as for, a specific person that I've seen Tabitha, no. No, I think she was a pretty unique kind of person.
I thought you reacted so good, though, when she was going to just, you were just... She wouldn't even speak to you, say something nasty to you, and then she'd wink at. But I mean, I thought that you reacted so good to it, your reaction to her.
Thank you.
And because, what did you think of someone that has never been done to you, has it or hasn't?
No, I've never really experienced that type of bullying in public, really. I mean, you hear people say something about you, but it doesn't hurt as much because it's not necessarily to you, so you don't know if it's true or not. Mm-hmm. But with that happening, especially with, somebody that's her best friend, I was crying. I made Sierra cry multiple times. In rehearsals, we had to stop because she would just start apologizing, immediately. And I was like, it's not to me. You're not hurting my feelings. You're hurting Tabitha's feelings. I was like, it's totally different. I mean, it's definitely, especially with bullying nowadays, such a hot topic, it's really important to show that and to kind of showcase that it really does happen. It's not just what you hear. Mm-hmm. It actually does happen. And, I mean, plain as clear, it happened to Tabitha. And, she kind of handled it in a way that, sort of the wrong way. She kind of just sort of shut down and just went down a wrong path versus maybe, I don't know, talking to her. I mean, she really didn't want to do it in the beginning, go for the plan in the beginning anyway. And then it kind of backfired on her. And, I don't know, it was pretty sad.
So now, you really came to the forefront for most of the world with Paul Blart.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, you don't ever call. Oh my
Sorry,
God!
I'm from Texas.
I feel like Sharon Burlesque. Don't ever call
I'm
me
from
ma'am.
Texas. It's just something that we say.
You really came to the forefront. And that was really your first big motion picture feature. Now here you are again. You're jumping between Disney TV and film. What do you find to be the biggest difference, and especially given Disney shows in comparison to a movie like Girl in Progress?
I booked Girl in Progress and Austin and Ally at the same time. We were just filming the pilot of Austin and Ally. We wrapped on Wednesday. By Friday, I was in Canada filming Girl in Progress. So it kind of happened pretty quickly. As far as adjusting, I mean, it was 100% different. Girl in Progress was this drama, and I've never really done drama before. And I never had to cry on screen or scream at my friends, and I never got to do any of that. And that was a big reason why I wanted to do it, because it just showcased something completely different. It really kind of helped me with my range of acting and to, prove to myself that I could do it, not just comedy. And and it's awesome because the Disney Channel kids, they're so behind it. They love it. They've seen the trailers, and they're so excited to see it. Not only because I'm in it, but just because of the story, and my cast is so supportive. And just being there was completely different because you know you have to go from this goofy character on this Disney show and then turn it around and become, you know, this young naive girl who then all of a sudden goes through this huge transformation in life and then kind of falls from it and then has to rise back up. And it was interesting. It was very interesting. From rehearsals to filming, you know, everything's different. Mm-hmm. You know, it takes 5 days to film an episode of our show. It took us 2-3 months to film a movie. So it's completely different working on the same thing over and over again, and you really get to perfect it. You really get to that moment where it's perfect, and you know it cannot get any better than what you're doing now. Mm-hmm. Versus a TV show, which is a little bit faster and, you know, more fast-paced, and of course Disney, you know, it's upbeat and light, and so to go from that to this is completely different, but I loved it. I would love the opportunity to do it again. Yes?
So you've done TV, you've done film.
Yes.
And do you have any expectation, maybe stage would be another?
Oh, I would love to do stage. Theater. I would love to do theater. I think that is such an awesome experience.
Just to compare and contrast.
Yeah, because it's all so different, and it keeps you on your toes, and it keeps you fresh as an actor, and I love it.
Yeah. When you're a young actress in Hollywood, and especially with working with Disney,
yes.
there comes a certain expectation that you're going to be somewhat of a role model for girls, you know, your age or younger. How do you deal with that expectation that comes with that job?
I'm just myself. I'm not really a person that goes out and likes to hang out a lot outside of my house. I'm very much a homebody, and I'm always with my family all the time. So I don't really have to worry about, you know, that kind of thing. And if kids want to look up to me, that's perfectly fine. I'm always going to set a good example because I have nieces at home, and I know that, you know, if they ever saw me act out or act up, I would be embarrassed for them and to see me that way. So I would always try my best to be on my best behavior.
Did your role models kind of work out for you? Did they stay like who you needed them to be, or did they change?
Most of them stayed the same. Yeah, I mean, you know, I get inspiration from everything and everybody. So it's kind of like, you know, even if it's a fake character in a movie or a TV show, I kind of just get like inspiration from everything. So I don't necessarily have like these type of role models that I would always look up to, but it's like there's a couple that come to mind that I can think of. I loved them when I was younger, and I still love them now, and that's the way it'll always be.
In the film, you're given many chances to assert your self-esteem. The universe is testing you in many different areas. What would you recommend for other women your age on how to feel good about themselves? There's so much pressure, especially with social media, and now this new term, Facebook depression, where everyone's comparing themselves to one another. How would you recommend that young women should just feel good about themselves no matter what the outside sources throw at them?
I mean, it really just comes down to who you are. I really believe that. I really believe that. If you honestly love yourself, and even if you don't, find something that either fixes that, maybe like get into a new hobby. You know, try singing, dancing, juggling, you know, something to help you. You know, you have to have a good family base, a good support system, not only family but friends. You know, if it's the people that you're around that are making you feel like you're not who you are or less than them, find new people to hang out with. Don't try to change yourself to fit in with somebody else. You know, find new people to hang out with that'll accept you for you. I'm just a firm believer in being yourself, no matter who you are.
Well, when you say, could you just pick out maybe 2 scenes in this picture where you really had to, it was challenging. You had to really think them over before you did them.
You mean like as an actor acting?
Yes.
Well, I would definitely have to say in the cafeteria, just getting bullied on, just because that personally never had happened to me before, like in person, like I was saying it, and to kind of be in this situation where I'm vulnerable and I really can't do anything because, you know, you have it worked out and then it just kind of goes haywire and you don't know how to react, and, you know, she's so naive that she would never speak up for herself anyway, and to it kind of happen, I really had to step back and think, really had to like put myself in a situation, and then immediately I just started crying. Just thinking about it now, I could start crying, just because of how terrible it can be to really, that can happen in real life, and that it does. And then definitely just like, I don't know, I think like, I think the ending scene where we kind of make up as friends, as an actor, I had to really think about how my character would feel. I mean, she went through this whole emotional thing with her so-called best friend, and then you're supposed to, like, become friends again. And in my head, I was like, I mean, would she really become best friends with her again? And I was like, yeah, she would. Because, in a way, she helped her grow as a person. maybe not in a good way, but she helped her, come out of her shell a little bit more. But, in the end, friendship is their bond was tight, and it kind of was nice to see them, reconcile and become friends again. And that was another scene that I really wanted to think about. And, I would talk to Patricia about it all the time and ask her, what do you think she would do in this scene? Or, I'm thinking about doing this. And she's like, you know what, that's perfect. That's natural. That's exactly the way that she would act. So
now, Raini, television has given you a chance to work with a lot of different directors.
Yes.
Bouncing in and out of the different
Yes.
series and all. Now, for your second feature, you got a female director, female-oriented film. How would you describe Patricia as a director in comparison to what you're used to?
I loved her. I mean, I love that there are female directors out there, because I myself want to become a director one day. So to kind of see her out there was amazing. And making a film, about women, it was nice because she's actually a woman and she can connect with you in that way. And, even at rehearsals and reading the script and going over it, I mean, it was nice to see that she knew what she was talking about. Versus like coming from like a guy's point of view where they don't know exactly how that is, but a woman knows exactly what you're talking about. It was nice. Patricia was really was wonderful. I mean, we'd be in rehearsals and it would just be this like empty room, just like us in a chair, basically in our scripts, and she would just talk with us and say, well, how do you feel with this, and what do you feel like with this, and do you like this line? Is it natural? We could change it. It's just kind of however you felt. She was really good about working with you and letting you do your own thing, and I love that.
Raini, you mentioned... Oh, no, please.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
You won't forget?
I won't.
I might, so thanks. 2 minutes. Just really quickly, the controversy recently about the film called Bully, and, that's such, like you said, a hot topic, and there were, like, decisions about the rating and all that. And what do you anticipate? Do you think this is like a similar type of, what kind of feedback and what kind of response do you think box office-wise?
I'm just hoping for the best. I really am. I mean, that's really all you can as an actor, is just you put your all into a project and you just hope for the best. That's really all you can hope for. It does, brush up on the topic of bullying. Obviously, it's showcased. But, I mean, it's not necessarily something that's the main point of the film. It just kind of shows that under pressure, she had to bully her best friend. That wasn't the right choice to make, because that sort of wasn't how it was supposed to go exactly. It could have happened differently. She could have just not done this whole thing and just stayed herself, and that would have been fine. But, I mean, it obviously happened, so it's good that it's shown. And it shows, the side effects, the what happens when you are bullied, and, the troubles that you can go through, like Tavita did, because of the fact that her best friend bullied her. Now she doesn't have anybody else to turn to but the wrong crowd. So, yes, sir.
You mentioned that you're 18 now. I
Yes.
guess you're going to be 19 in July.
Yes.
But you're going to get to vote for the first time. I remember being very excited, but the impression that we hear and get following the news is that kids today are very disillusioned with politics. And is it still exciting, the prospect that for the first time you're going to be able to get involved in politics in that way?
It is interesting. It's nice to know that you count. You have a voice. You're able to make a difference, because you don't know if my vote could go this way or that way. You really don't know. It's nice to kind of, say you're 18 and you have sort of this, another responsibility. It's nice. I'm excited for it. I can't wait. Yes.
Sorry. This is a film full of some Latina powerhouse
Yes.
roles. So what's your feeling about that? I mean, when you're seeing these women just running the show.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm so happy to be a part of a Latina-based film product, whatever you want to call it. I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm happy to say that I'm a part of this wonderful movie, to work with Patricia and Ava and Sierra. I mean, it's great. It's great to know that we're all Latinas, because it's definitely out there. There's a lot of single moms that are Latino with, kids and stuff like that, and, best friends, and everything that it's shown, it's very real. It's very real. So it's nice to be a part of it.
You were, in your earlier thing, you said you were questioning whether she could actually forgive her best friend or not. Were you questioning that because you don't think you would be as forgiving in that situation?
I don't think, personally, myself, I could ever be as forgiving, because it was a lot that she went through. I mean, a lot. So I don't know if I could ever forgive her as much as what Tavita did, but I think I could eventually. but it would take a lot more time than what it took for Tavita. Tavita was, I mean, because that was really pretty much her only best friend ever, and then to kind of figure out that it really wasn't intentional, that she really didn't mean to do that, like all in the end when it all came and said and done, and you know, I think it's a lot when you kind of hit rock bottom like Tavita did, and then you kind of realize, oh, I kind of do need her, my bad, and then it kind of works out because, you know, Ansiedad realized that too about Tavita, and it's nice. I don't know if I could be quite as forgiving, just because she put her through a lot. I mean, from her being her best friend, I wouldn't want an enemy like that. So
she was a rich girl. Did she at any time ever consider her wealth as something that she could manipulate with?
Tavita?
Yeah.
No. In a way, I felt maybe. In a way, I just felt like it was able to help her get friends. In her mind, you know, she didn't know how to dress. But she would see this style, this style, and this style, and think, oh, I have money, I'll buy all those styles and put them together. And you're just like, no, that doesn't work that way. And, you know, helping Ansiedad with her plan, you know, we would always talk about, well, Ansiedad needs money, you know, to get this and to figure out this and to create that beautiful billboard that's in her room. She needs money for that. So, obviously, Tavita was more than welcome to help her with anything. So, I feel like, in a way, the money kind of backfired for her because it didn't really help with anything. It just kind of made her used. People used her a lot for it, I think. All right, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you.